Dark intelligence. This video will make you dangerously smart. What if I told you there is a kind of intelligence that most people never use? A way of thinking that can help you win quietly, move powerfully, and surprise everyone around you. It's called dark intelligence. It does not mean doing evil things. It means learning to see what others cannot see, to understand what others refuse to understand, and to use it wisely. Today, you will discover how to build this rare kind of mind. This video is not for everyone, but if you watch until the end, you may become someone who is not just smart, but dangerously smart. 1. See the world without illusions. Most people wake up each day and move through life wearing invisible glasses. Glasses made from their hopes, fears, and habits. These glasses make them see only what feels comfortable and safe. They believe people are always honest if they speak kindly. They assume that if someone smiles, it means they like them. And they think that life will reward them simply for working hard or being nice. But the truth is very different. Dark intelligence begins when you dare to take off these glasses and see the world as it really is, not as you wish it to be. Think about an ordinary day in an office. On the surface, everything looks friendly. Colleagues share jokes, smile during meetings, and act supportive. But behind these polite faces, there are hidden competitions, quiet rivalries, and silent judgments. Someone may compliment your work in public but quietly tell the boss about your mistake to gain an advantage. Another person may laugh at your jokes but secretly feels jealous of your progress. Dark intelligence teaches you to notice the small, telling signs that most people miss. The quick change in someone's eyes when the topic turns serious, the slight pause before they answer your question, or how their words become softer or sharper depending on who is listening. Seeing reality without illusions doesn't mean you become cold, bitter, or unkind. Instead, it means you understand human nature as it truly is. You stop expecting perfect honesty or fairness from everyone, so you are no longer easily shocked or deeply hurt when people disappoint you. You learn not to give your trust too quickly. You also discover when to share your thoughts and when silence is the smarter choice. This new clarity helps you protect your own interests and stay calm in stressful situations. Most people live in illusions because it feels easier and safer, but illusions can also become traps that blind you to danger and stop you from growing. Dark intelligence is not about losing kindness or becoming suspicious of everyone. It is about waking up, watching closely, and thinking deeply. Once you learn to see the world as it really is, with all its beauty and all its hidden shadows, you begin to move through life with quiet strength. And that is the first real step toward becoming dangerously smart. 2. Learn from the shadows. Throughout history, the downfall of even the greatest leaders often began not with loud threats, but with small warnings they chose to ignore. Kings lost their thrones not because of enemies at the gates, but because they trusted too blindly in friends who quietly plotted against them. Great companies collapsed not because of sudden disaster, but because leaders dismissed soft-spoken advisors who noticed hidden dangers. These stories teach us a powerful lesson. Real danger often hides in the shadows, and dark intelligence is built by learning to see what is quiet, hidden, or left unsaid. In your everyday life, this lesson is just as true. Instead of listening only to loud voices and big promises, pay attention to what people avoid discussing. Watch their eyes and notice what topics make them uncomfortable, defensive, or strangely silent. Sometimes what people do not say reveals more than what they do say. For example, if a team is excited about a new plan but there is one person who looks uneasy and stays quiet, that silence might point to a real risk that others have missed. Instead of following the crowd, ask yourself why they might feel worried. Often, a single silent doubt can save you from future problems. Dark intelligence also means learning from your own shadows, the parts of yourself you often try to hide or ignore. These shadows hold valuable truths. For instance, your jealousy may feel unpleasant, but it can teach you what you deeply desire or what you feel is missing in your life. Your fears can show you where you feel unprepared or weak, pointing you towards skills or knowledge you need to gain. Even your past mistakes, instead of being forgotten in shame, can teach you patterns about your thinking and behavior that you can change for the better. Most people run from these shadows because they feel uncomfortable. But someone who seeks dark intelligence looks directly at them, not with judgment, but with curiosity. By understanding what lies beneath the surface, in other people and in yourself, you gain a special kind of wisdom. You stop being easily fooled by appearances and become better at predicting problems before they happen. You also become calmer, because you accept that everyone has shadows, including yourself. In the end, it is not the light alone that makes you smart. It is the courage to look into the darkness and learn quietly from what you find there. 3. Master emotional distance. One of the greatest strengths of dark intelligence is the ability to keep emotional distance, even when you feel provoked, insulted, or attacked. Emotional distance does not mean you turn into a cold, heartless person who feels nothing. It means you train yourself not to let your feelings decide your words or actions in the heat of the moment. Most people act as soon as they feel something strong. They speak in anger, make quick promises when excited, or retreat when afraid. But those with dark intelligence learn to pause, reflect, and choose their response carefully, rather than being driven by the storm of emotion. Imagine this. You're at work, and someone makes a sharp, cutting remark about you in front of others. The natural reaction for most people is to feel anger rising, their heart beating faster, and words ready to spill out, maybe to defend themselves, insult back, or even plot revenge later. But what happens if, instead of reacting immediately, you take a silent breath and look deeper? Ask yourself, why did they choose to insult me right now? Are they trying to make me look weak or foolish in front of the team? Do they feel threatened by my progress or confidence? Or are they struggling with their own problems and using me as an easy target? By stepping back emotionally, even just for a few seconds, you create space between what you feel and what you do. In that space, you find power. You might choose to stay silent, which can make the other person feel uncomfortable or expose their aggression to everyone else. You might decide to answer calmly, which shows strength and confidence that often surprises and weakens your opponent's attack. Sometimes, a soft question, like, "Why do you say that?" can reveal their insecurity without you ever raising your voice. This level of calm is not something that comes naturally to most people. It takes practice, reflection, and patience. But over time, you start to notice something remarkable. Fewer people are able to provoke you, and those who try often end up revealing more about themselves than about you. You also begin to feel a quiet strength inside, a sense that you control yourself, even if you can't control others. And that is at the heart of dark intelligence. Not becoming emotionless, but learning to feel deeply while acting wisely. When you master emotional distance, you become far harder to manipulate, and your mind becomes clearer, calmer, and far more dangerous in the best possible way. 4. Use the power of observation. One of the quietest yet most powerful tools of dark intelligence is observation, the art of truly seeing and hearing what is happening around you. Most people look, but they don't truly see. They hear words, but they don't listen to what those words reveal. A dangerously smart person, however, turns observation into a daily habit. They watch carefully, not just what people say, but how they say it, when they choose to say it, and what they choose not to say at all. Pay attention to the small details that most overlook. Notice how someone sits when they speak about their successes. Do they lean forward with genuine excitement, or do they shrink back slightly, as if afraid their success might be questioned? Watch their hands. Do they move freely and openly, or do they fidget nervously? Listen to their words. Truly confident people often speak simply and directly because they trust their ideas to stand on their own. Insecure people, on the other hand, may use too many words, repeating themselves or adding unnecessary details, as if trying to convince themselves as much as you. When you meet someone new, resist the natural urge to speak first and share about yourself. Instead, ask gentle questions and let them fill the silence. Most people love to talk about their stories, opinions, and struggles. While they talk, listen not just to the facts, but to the emotions behind the words. Do they light up when talking about certain topics? Do they speak quickly and proudly about their achievements, or do they hesitate and downplay them? Do they speak kindly about others, or do they show bitterness and blame? These clues can reveal what they truly value, what they fear losing, and what they respect in others. Observation is not about being suspicious of everyone. It is about gathering quiet information that helps you move wisely. When you know what someone deeply cares about, you can avoid hurting them unnecessarily. When you sense what someone secretly fears, you can understand why they act defensively. Over time, this habit makes you a master of understanding people, not by force, but by patient attention. Information itself is neither good nor bad, but how you use it matters. A dangerously smart person does not rush to share everything they notice. Instead, they keep what they learn quietly in mind, ready to use it when the right moment comes. To build trust, to diffuse conflict, or to guide a conversation in a helpful direction. In this way, the quiet power of observation becomes your secret advantage in every part of life. 5. Think several moves ahead. Imagine you are playing chess. A beginner often thinks only about the move in front of them, how to capture a piece or defend their own. But a skilled player looks further ahead, seeing how each move might change the whole game. This same principle is at the heart of dark intelligence, always thinking several moves ahead in life, not just reacting to what happens now, but preparing for what could come next. While most people live moment to moment, you quietly train your mind to see beyond today. This skill begins with asking simple but powerful questions before you act. What will likely happen after I say or do this? How might this person respond? And if they react badly, what will I do next? These questions create space between action and reaction. They also help you stay calm because you are not easily caught by surprise. You already have silent plans ready for different outcomes. Consider a common example at work. You have an idea you want to share in a meeting, but you know there's someone who usually disagrees with you. Instead of hoping for the best, prepare by thinking ahead. What points might they raise against you? What evidence can you bring to answer them? Maybe you can even speak to them privately before the meeting to understand their concerns and reduce open conflict. In doing this, you don't just react to their challenge, you shape the discussion before it starts. Thinking several moves ahead is also helpful when you notice small changes around you. Maybe your company starts quietly cutting budgets or moving people to new roles. Instead of ignoring these signs, ask what they could mean for your job or your team 6 months or a year from now. Should you learn a new skill to stay valuable? Should you quietly update your resume or explore other opportunities? Acting early can save you from being trapped later. This habit of forward thinking makes you appear calm and confident to others. People might say you seem to predict what happens, but the truth is simpler. You prepared carefully. You thought about the next steps, while others only saw what was in front of them. In life, surprises and problems still come. But when you train your mind to think ahead, you handle them with more control and less fear. This quiet preparation becomes part of your strength. One more way you turn ordinary intelligence into dark intelligence, making you not just smart, but dangerously smart in a world where most people only see the next move. 6. Control your words. Like a weapon, words are one of the most underestimated forms of power. They can lift someone's spirit, create hope, or spark deep trust. But they can also destroy reputations, create enemies, and start conflicts that last a lifetime. People with dark intelligence understand this truth deeply. They treat words not as something to throw around carelessly, but as a sharp weapon, something to be used carefully, strategically, and often sparingly. Think about a moment when someone openly tries to embarrass you in front of others. The natural reaction for most people is to answer with anger, defend themselves loudly, or even attack back. But reacting this way often gives power to your opponent. It shows you can be controlled by provocation. A person with dark intelligence, however, pauses and chooses their words carefully. Instead of meeting aggression with more aggression, they might answer softly, with calmness that surprises everyone. Sometimes adding gentle humor can highlight how foolish or petty the attacker's words really are. By staying calm, you don't just protect your dignity. You quietly show strength and control, making the attacker look weaker by comparison. Another part of controlling your words is knowing what not to say. Many people feel the need to explain everything about themselves, their plans, their fears, and even their secrets. They do this to feel accepted or to appear honest. But dark intelligence teaches you that silence can protect you better than 1,000 explanations. You don't need to lie or deceive. Simply choose to keep some thoughts and plans to yourself. Why? Because today's friend could become tomorrow's rival, and words once spoken cannot be taken back. Keeping part of your mind private gives you flexibility, allowing you to change direction or strategy without feeling trapped by promises or expectations you shared too soon. This doesn't mean you must speak coldly or avoid building trust. On the contrary, speaking thoughtfully can deepen trust. When people see that your words are measured, respectful, and rarely wasted, they come to value what you say even more. They listen closely because they know you do not speak without reason. Over time, this careful balance, knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, and how to use words gently or firmly, becomes part of your strength. It allows you to guide conversations, avoid unnecessary conflicts, and protect your true intentions. And in a world where many speak without thinking, your quiet, deliberate use of words becomes a powerful form of dark intelligence, turning every sentence you choose to speak or not speak into a weapon of quiet power. 7. Build a network quietly. One of the most overlooked truths in life is that real power is rarely held by those who shout the loudest about their connections. Instead, it belongs to those who build quiet networks, friendships and alliances that grow naturally over time, built on trust, respect, and genuine help rather than showy promises. This is another key part of dark intelligence. Understanding that even the sharpest mind becomes far stronger when supported by a hidden network of allies. Many people today see networking as something loud and public, collecting business cards, posting photos with important people, or announcing every new partnership on social media. But dangerously smart people know better. They build their networks silently. They notice when someone is struggling and offer help, not for immediate reward, but because they see value in building real relationships. They listen deeply when others share problems, offering honest and thoughtful advice rather than empty compliments. Slowly, these small, sincere actions plant seeds of trust and respect. Over time, these seeds grow into strong, invisible roots. You may not appear to have the largest circle or the most impressive list of contacts, but the connections you do have are real. They are built on shared history, mutual help, and quiet loyalty, not on shallow favors exchanged for quick gain. And when the moment comes when you truly need support, a recommendation, information, or protection, these allies will step forward without needing to be asked twice, because they know you did the same for them, quietly and without conditions. The beauty of building your network this way is that your true strength remains hidden from most people. You do not become a visible target for jealousy or gossip. Others may underestimate you because they cannot see the quiet support behind you. Yet when challenges appear, you find that you are not standing alone. Your allies, who remember your past kindness and honesty, become your silent defenders. This hidden network is a form of power that feels almost magical to those who do not understand it. But it is built slowly, through patience, sincerity, and a willingness to help others even when no one is watching. And that is why it becomes part of dark intelligence. It makes you stronger not through loud displays, but through quiet, steady connections that others cannot easily break or even see. In a world where many rush to show what they have, your quiet network becomes an invisible shield and silent sword, protecting you, guiding you, and making you truly, dangerously smart. 8. Accept that the world is not always fair. One of the hardest truths to accept is this: life is not always fair. We are taught from a young age that if you work hard, you will succeed. If you are kind, others will be kind to you. And if you do the right thing, the world will reward you. But reality often teaches a different lesson. Sometimes, those who lie, cheat, or play dirty seem to rise faster. Sometimes good people who act with honesty and kindness still face failure, betrayal, or loss. To many, this feels deeply unfair, and it is. But a person with dark intelligence does not let this truth break their spirit. Instead, they accept it calmly and use it to grow wiser. Accepting unfairness doesn't mean you stop trying, or that you join those who do wrong. It means you learn to see the world as it is, rather than as you wish it to be. You recognize that effort does not always lead directly to reward, but you also see that complaining endlessly about this truth only drains your energy and keeps you stuck. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you start asking, "How can I protect myself in a world like this?" This quiet shift in thinking changes everything. For example, imagine your boss takes credit for your work in front of senior leaders. Instead of exploding in anger or giving up in silence, use dark intelligence to protect your interests. Keep clear records of your work so you can prove your contribution if needed. Share your ideas carefully, perhaps in writing or in small meetings where others see your involvement. And choose your battles wisely. Sometimes, silence and patience can protect you better than a direct fight. Accepting unfairness also helps you build emotional strength. You stop feeling shocked when others act selfishly or dishonestly. This doesn't mean you become cynical or stop believing in good people. It means you stop being surprised when reality shows its darker side. You remain kind, but you become watchful. You remain hopeful, but you prepare quietly for disappointment. By doing this, you move your focus away from what you cannot control, the choices and actions of others, and place it back where it truly belongs, on your own decisions, your skills, and your responses. In the end, accepting that the world is not always fair does not make you weaker. It frees you from bitterness and frustration, allowing you to walk forward with clear eyes and a calm heart. And that is yet another quiet strength that makes you dangerously smart. 9. Learn from those who are stronger. It is a natural feeling to sometimes feel jealous or frustrated when you see someone more successful or powerful than you. Many people react with envy or even resentment, wishing they could bring that person down or deny their achievements. But dark intelligence teaches a very different response: curiosity. Instead of feeling jealous, ask yourself, what do they do differently? What knowledge or habits do they have that I don't? This simple shift in attitude can change your entire path. Rather than fighting against those who seem ahead of you, choose to learn from them. Watch closely how they behave. Notice the way they speak. Do they choose their words carefully? Are they calm and confident, or rushed and nervous? Pay attention to what they read, the books or articles that shape their thinking. See who they spend time with. Do they surround themselves with positive, driven people? Who do they listen to and respect? These small observations can reveal important clues about their success. Don't just admire their victories, also learn from their mistakes. Everyone fails at some point. When a strong person stumbles, ask yourself why. Did they ignore a warning sign? Did they trust the wrong people? Did they rush into a decision without thinking? Understanding these failures can teach you what to avoid, saving you time and pain in your own journey. Learning from the strong does not mean copying them exactly. It's easy to lose yourself when you try to be just like someone else. Dark intelligence means respecting your own style, your own values, and your own way of doing things. Take the lessons and strategies that work for you, but keep your unique voice and character. Being dangerously smart means becoming better, not becoming a copy. As you learn quietly from those above you, you build a mental toolbox filled with strategies, habits, and ideas. This toolbox helps you grow stronger every day. You become wiser, more prepared, and more confident. And when your time comes to lead or succeed, you will do so with the strength of your own character, supported by the wisdom gained from those who came before you. In the end, this open mind and respectful curiosity is a powerful part of dark intelligence. It transforms jealousy into growth and competition into opportunity. And it helps you walk your path, not by fighting others, but by learning, improving, and rising quietly, but surely. 10. Always keep growing in secret. In today's world, it's easy to feel the pressure to share every success, every new goal, and every step forward with everyone around us. Social media encourages us to announce what we are doing and ask for praise and approval. But dark intelligence teaches something different. The most powerful growth happens quietly, away from the eyes of others. People who shout about their progress often stop when challenges come because they have already received praise. But someone who grows in secret builds real strength and discipline that no one can take away. Imagine two people with the same goal. One posts every step on social media and talks about it with everyone. The other works silently, studying late at night when the world is asleep, practicing skills while others relax, and reading books that challenge and expand their mind rather than simply entertain. When success arrives for the quiet worker, it feels sudden and surprising to others. They wonder, how did they do it so fast? But the truth is, this success is the result of hours, weeks, and months of invisible, patient work. Keeping your growth secret also protects it from the envy and criticism of others. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people will try to bring you down with negative words or doubts. If you reveal everything too soon, you give them ammunition to discourage you or create obstacles. But if you grow quietly, you keep your progress safe and untouchable until you are ready to show it. This silence also builds your self-discipline. You learn to work for yourself, not for applause or approval. Your reward becomes your own improvement, your growing skills, and your increasing confidence. This internal motivation is stronger and more lasting than any praise from others. It pushes you to keep going even when it's difficult or lonely. In the end, the secret growth of dark intelligence creates a powerful advantage. You develop quietly, steadily, and deeply. When the world finally sees your success, it will be clear that you earned it. Not through loud promises or boasting, but through patience, hard work, and the quiet power of discipline. This is how you become not just smart, but dangerously smart. 11. Use your weakness as a weapon. Everyone has weaknesses. No one is perfect. Whether it's fear, doubt, past mistakes, or habits that hold you back, these are parts of yourself that many people try to hide or ignore. But dark intelligence teaches a deeper truth. Your weaknesses do not have to be your enemy. Instead, they can become your secret weapon. The key is not to deny or run from your weaknesses, but to face them honestly and use them to your advantage. Take fear, for example. Many people are afraid of public speaking. They imagine standing in front of others and freezing or stumbling over their words. But if you know this about yourself, you can turn it into strength. You can prepare more than anyone else, practicing your speech again and again until your nervous energy turns into excitement and passion. Your fear becomes a source of focus, not a reason to avoid the challenge. This is not magic. It is quiet, hard work combined with honest self-awareness. Emotional reactions can also be seen as a weakness, especially if you feel that you get upset or angry too easily. But with dark intelligence, you train yourself to pause before reacting. You breathe deeply and give yourself a moment to choose your response instead of being driven by emotion. This simple habit can turn what once seemed like a weakness into a powerful skill. Emotional control. You become someone who thinks before speaking and acts with calm confidence. Sometimes, showing a small weakness on purpose can also give you an advantage. People tend to trust those who seem human and real, not perfect or untouchable. If you always act flawless, others may feel distant or suspicious. But if you reveal a little vulnerability at the right moment, like admitting a small mistake or sharing a personal challenge, it can break down walls and build trust. However, this is a choice you control. You decide when and how much to show. This control itself becomes a form of quiet power. Using your weaknesses as weapons does not mean pretending to be weak or asking for pity. It means understanding your true self deeply and turning what you once saw as a limitation into a source of strength. This self-acceptance combined with smart strategy is a powerful part of dark intelligence. It allows you to move forward not in spite of your weaknesses, but because of them. And that is a level of strength few ever reach, making you dangerously smart in a world where many try to hide their shadows instead of using them. 12. Prepare for betrayal without becoming bitter. One of the harsh realities of life is that even those closest to us can change. People who once seemed loyal and trustworthy may act selfishly when situations shift. Sometimes this change is gradual and quiet. Other times it is sudden and shocking. Dark intelligence means accepting this truth, not with fear or suspicion, but with calm preparation. You do not live waiting for betrayal, but you quietly prepare for the possibility, protecting yourself without closing your heart. A key part of this preparation is never putting all your trust, money, or personal secrets into one person. Keeping some independence and boundaries is not a sign of weakness or distrust. It is a wise act of self-care. When you spread your trust carefully, you avoid being completely shattered if someone does betray you. This balance helps you maintain strength even when relationships change. Pay attention to subtle signs that someone may be drifting away or hiding something. These signs can include less frequent contact, more criticism or negativity, sudden changes in tone, or strange excuses for missing meetings or calls. Dark intelligence teaches you to notice these small shifts early so you can adjust your expectations and protect your interests. Quietly. You don't need to confront every small change immediately. Sometimes the best action is simply to watch and prepare. If betrayal does happen, and it might, you will feel the pain, but it will hurt less because you were not taken completely by surprise. You will recover faster because you have already kept part of yourself safe and separate. More importantly, you will keep your dignity. Many people become bitter or vengeful after betrayal, allowing their anger to consume them and weaken their future. But someone with dark intelligence understands that bitterness only traps you in the past. Instead, you choose to move forward quietly, focusing on rebuilding your life and relationships where they truly matter. Preparing for betrayal without becoming bitter is a difficult balance, but it is one of the strongest forms of intelligence you can develop. It frees you from living in constant fear and lets you stay open to connection without losing control. This quiet resilience is not obvious to others, but it gives you an inner power that protects you in the hardest moments. And that, above all, makes you dangerously smart in a world where trust can be fragile. But life must go on. 13. Learn to walk away. One of the most powerful lessons of dark intelligence is learning when to walk away. This may sound simple, but it is one of the hardest things many people struggle to do. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a dishonest friend, or a project that is clearly failing, staying in a draining situation can slowly steal your energy, focus, and joy. The smartest and most dangerous move you can make is often to leave before you lose more than you can afford. Many people stay stuck in difficult situations simply because they have already invested so much time, money, or emotional energy. They think, "I've come this far, so I can't give up now." This is called the sunk cost fallacy, believing that past investment justifies staying, even when the future looks bleak. Dark intelligence breaks free from this trap. It teaches you to look clearly at the present and future, not just the past. What matters most is where you are going next, not how far you have already come. Walking away is not a sign of weakness or failure. In fact, it is a sign of wisdom and courage. It means you value your future growth more than protecting your past efforts. When you master the ability to walk away, you become very hard to trap or control. People who rely on your loyalty or attachment to keep you stuck lose their power over you. When you are willing to leave, you hold the strongest kind of freedom, the freedom to choose what serves you best. This does not mean you leave impulsively or without thought. Dark intelligence means you decide carefully and strategically, weighing your options and consequences. Sometimes, staying a little longer makes sense, and sometimes the risk of walking away is too great. But when you do decide to leave, you do it with clear intention and without regret. Learning to walk away is about protecting yourself, preserving your energy, and making space for new opportunities. It's about respecting yourself enough to say no to what harms you and yes to what helps you grow. In a world full of distractions, disappointments, and broken promises, this skill becomes one of your greatest weapons. Once you truly understand how and when to walk away, you become dangerously smart, able to move freely, avoid traps, and keep building the life you want without being weighed down by what no longer serves you. 14. Use silence to find the truth. Silence is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked, tools of dark intelligence. Many people feel uncomfortable with silence. When a pause happens in conversation, they rush to fill it with words, sometimes saying more than they should, or revealing things they didn't intend to share. Someone with dark intelligence understands this deeply and uses silence to their advantage, turning quiet moments into opportunities to uncover truth and demonstrate strength. Imagine you ask someone a difficult or sensitive question. Instead of quickly jumping in to explain or fill the space, you wait quietly. You let the silence stretch. Many people feel pressured by this quiet and begin to talk more to break it. In doing so, they often reveal more than they planned, confessions, doubts, or hidden feelings that you might not have discovered otherwise. By mastering silence, you become a patient listener, gaining insights that others miss. Silence is also a sign of confidence. When you don't feel the need to rush your words or defend yourself immediately, others perceive you as thoughtful and strong. It shows that you are comfortable with yourself and the situation. This quiet power makes people respect you and often causes them to think twice before speaking carelessly around you. In arguments or conflicts, silence becomes an important tool for stopping escalation. Instead of reacting instantly to an insult or accusation, pause. Let the other person sit with the weight of their words. Sometimes, your silence makes them realize how harsh or unfair they sound. It also gives you time to calm your emotions and choose a wise response instead of reacting impulsively. Many conflicts worsen because people speak too quickly out of anger or fear. Silence breaks this cycle and gives space for reason to return. Using silence is not about ignoring problems or avoiding difficult conversations. It is about using quiet moments strategically to listen deeply, show strength, and control the flow of dialogue. In a noisy world where everyone rushes to speak, your ability to stay silent and patient becomes a rare and powerful skill. By learning to use silence wisely, you unlock a secret source of dark intelligence. You discover truths that others hide, calm tensions before they explode, and command respect simply by knowing when not to speak. This quiet mastery of silence turns you into someone who is not only smart, but dangerously smart, able to find power and truth in the spaces between words. 15. Remember, your mind is your strongest weapon. At the heart of dark intelligence lies a powerful truth. The world can take away many things, your money, your job, your friendships, but it can never steal what you truly know. Your mind is your quiet kingdom, an inner fortress that no one can invade unless you allow it. No matter what happens outside, your knowledge, your skills, and your ability to think critically remain yours, and they are your strongest weapon. Building this inner kingdom is a daily commitment. It requires patience, curiosity, and humility. Every day, make the choice to learn something new. Whether it's through reading books, studying history, understanding human psychology, or mastering the art of strategy. Learning does not mean simply collecting facts or memorizing information. It means deepening your understanding of how the world works and how people think and act. This knowledge becomes the foundation for wise decisions, calm reactions, and confident moves. Dark intelligence also means questioning your own beliefs. We all carry assumptions and biases that can blind us. A smart mind is always willing to reflect quietly and ask, is what I believe really true? Could there be another perspective? What can I learn from this situation? This self-reflection strengthens your mind and keeps it flexible. It prevents you from falling into traps of stubbornness or ignorance. The more you understand, the less you fear. Fear often comes from the unknown or from feeling unprepared. But as your knowledge grows, so does your confidence. You start to see patterns where others see chaos, solutions where others see problems, and calm where others panic. This calm intelligence becomes your shield against life's uncertainties. And here's another secret. The smarter you become, the less you feel the need to prove it to others. True intelligence is quiet. It doesn't seek constant approval or recognition. It moves silently, making wise choices and building strength without loud announcements. When you focus on growing your mind, you become less dependent on external validation and more connected to your own inner power. Remember, your mind is your strongest weapon. Protect it, nourish it, and use it wisely. In a world full of distractions, noise, and chaos, a sharp and calm mind is the most valuable asset you can have. This is the essence of dark intelligence, the quiet, steady power that makes you not just smart, but dangerously smart. Final thoughts. The quiet power inside you. Being dangerously smart does not mean becoming cold, cruel, or dishonest. It means learning to see deeply, think clearly, and act wisely. It means protecting yourself and helping those you care about. It means living awake, not asleep, moving through the world with open eyes and a steady heart. Dark intelligence is about embracing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be, and using that clarity to navigate life with skill and grace. This kind of intelligence is not magic or something you are simply born with. It is built slowly, day by day, through careful observation, silent preparation, and quiet courage. It asks you to face truths that many people avoid, that the world can be unfair, that not everyone has your best interests at heart, and that you must sometimes stand alone. But in return, it offers you something priceless: strength, calm, and freedom from being controlled by emotions or illusions. On my channel, English Achieve, we explore how to develop these deep skills step by step. Through learning and practice, you can build your own dark intelligence, becoming more aware, more prepared, and more confident in your daily life. It is not about being better than others, but about being better than you were yesterday, quietly growing into a version of yourself that others might not see coming. Remember, in the end, the world does not belong to those who shout the loudest or rush without thought. It belongs to those who see the furthest, think the deepest, and move the wisest. So, ask yourself now, are you ready to see what others do not? Are you ready to build your dark intelligence and become dangerously smart? The choice is yours, and the power is quietly waiting inside you.